Alright. Next campsite, where are we going? We are going to this one in Green Acres. There's a campsite right here. So we should be able to take the car back. Right. Where are we again? Oh, over here. Can we take this route? We should be able to. We should actually be able to go from here. Just right through this little winding pathway. Go left here, and make it. I hope that's going to work out as I intended. We're gonna have to go cross-country a little bit for this one anyway, because there is no easy road access for this campsite, so it is inevitably going to be a bit annoying to get there. But I do hope we'll be able to make it in a reasonable time. Alright, go right here, and now we just have to follow a lot of winding pathway. Also, what doesn't make this easier is that for this game, during daytime, the time passes at 1 to 4 minutes. So 1 in-game minute is... no, 1 real-life minute is 4 in-game minutes. And once you get past sunset, which I think is 7:30 according to the in-game clock, then it changes to 1 real-life minute equals 6 minutes. Whoa, whoa! And that just makes everything a lot harder. Seriously? Wow. Okay, very bad idea on my part. Taking this path. Very, very bad idea. Holy hell. What was I thinking? So yeah, we do not have much time left to get this done within the first in-game day. And it doesn't help that this path is pretty winding. So... not exactly a straight line to the finish. But we're gonna try to make it happen as fast as we can. Oh, I can hear deer. Please don't run into my car. Okay, go left. Yeah, we're on the right path, and then go left again. Whoa! I swear it is easier to do stunts in this UTV than it is in a monster truck in Monster Jam Steel Titans. Can we port this to the other game? It would have made the career mode of Monster Jam so much easier. Alright, let's just cut a little bit across country here. Since I can actually somewhat see where I'm going. Okay, left here. There we go. Oh. Choi. Okay, we're gonna jump over the fence. Foxes are a ridiculously overrated species. You see them all over the media portrayed as smart, ranging from old folklore tales to the most recent wave of independent video games where you control these beasts. I even watched the TV, that would be endling. Extinction is forever, I think. I even watched this TV series where one character claimed that this guy Fox, what was he trying to convey? Oh, you poor innocent soul. You poor innocent soul. For years I have been downvoting and review bombing every piece of media that portrays foxes in a positive light, but the public opinion remains sturdy. Foxes are smart, cunning, even vicious, they say. But as contradictory as it may sound, foxes only pretend to be foxy. They are actually dumb as rocks, especially compared to other carnivores like wolves or herbivores like deer. And you can easily prove it. Just try approaching one fox so close that you can clearly see the silly smug stuck on their stuck on their faces and shoot. I think there's a word missing there. Sure, if you can do it with just one fox, you may argue that it is not the species but a particular fox that is dumb. With 2, you argue that it's just coincidence. But 3? I believe 3 is the lucky number. Wolf Sinister, director of Fox Myth Debunker Society. People think it's easy to sit in a stand and wait several hours for deer to come to you, but it requires patience. Otherworldly patience. You can't move because single adjustments of your chair can alert animals and you can't even see. All you do is just observe the nature with your eyes. Some people have activities to shorten the time, like play games on phones, read books, solve crossword puzzles, but those are weaklings. The true challenge is to be with your own thoughts while staying alert all those hours. Read a book and you may miss a valuable chance to spot the animal you've waited for all this time. Plus, the stand is your friend. If you plan your hunt correctly with the wind, animals should not be able to catch a smell of you. Try to make peace with your surroundings and experience waiting for the game instead of active stalking. So one of these missions is fairly easy, which is the waiting game. This one that we just picked up requires us to get 3 white-tailed deer from a stand, which is not too bad. There are many hunting stands in this game and many white-tailed deer near hunting stands, including this one. So, oh wait, did I not interact with the map? Because there is a hunting stand on this lake. And there are also white-tailed deer eating from this lake, or drinking from this lake. So that mission is not too bad. The other one that we just picked up, the foxes, is one of 2 missions where we have to get foxes from a pretty close range. And while foxes are still fairly easy in terms of spooking, you do not wish to get that close to them. So yeah, not exactly great. Let's see where we're actually going to go. I think it might actually be easier. We need to go to Volkov's cabin next. And we also still have to get 2 campsites up in Small Paws. So what we're going to do is we're going to teleport back over here. Which one of the fox mission was this? 30 meters, so this is the worst one. There's one that's from 100 meters and one that's from 30 meters. We're gonna go left here, right here, all the way to Volkov's cabin. Should be fairly quick. And once we get to Volkov's cabin, we are going to do his first 2 missions, because his first 2 missions are literally just go to a place and interact with the thing, which will be fairly easy for us to accomplish. So that we can do pretty quickly. And then we don't have to worry about doing those while we are on the road, and we can just worry about his final hunting mission. If you never bother seeking out the cabins before the main story will eventually ask you to retrieve a book to Volkov's cabin. So you will be directed to go to a cabin at one point or another, so that the game can point you there and go, hey, this is someplace you should actually be looking out for. You should actually go to these places and check them out. But we are already getting ahead of that, so I'm just gonna pick up this hunting stand. Thank you. Hopefully we will still have a bit of daylight left when we get to Volkov's cabin, because that's gonna make the second mission he asks us for quite a bit easier. The first mission is not very far from where he actually lives, but the second one actually requires us to climb down to a specific lake. And it is very easy to break your neck there if you don't see where you're going. Because this area where we're going now is considered lowland forest, but honestly, considering how many mountains we have, the lowlands areas is not a lot less mountainy than the highlands area. Like, honestly, they're pretty much the same in terms of traversal, as far as I can tell. Just the animal selections are different. So you have just as many opportunities to break your neck in the lowland forests as you have in the highland forests. And this area, this road up to Volkov and from Volkov to the next campsite, those two roads are where you're most likely to hit some deer. So fingers crossed we don't hit any on our way to him and on our way from him to the other two campsites. Because we have had some very close calls today. Speaking of, there's deer. Please don't run into the road, please don't run into the road, please don't run into the road. Thank you. Decide to be smart for a day, please. Alright. And here we go, right to get up to his cabin. Yeah. Alright, let's get up here. And we're back in private territory. This one is private land for wolves, white-tailed deer, mule deer, and foxes. By the way, did I interact with the map in Halevich? I did. Okay. Oh, but I didn't interact with the map over here. We're gonna fix that real quickly once we're done with this one.
You've discovered Nez Perce Valley lowland habitat. These areas offer a vast amount of ponderosa pines, which serve as great bedding covers for animals, along with patches of sagebrush where mule deer can feed. The scarcity of predators allows herbivores, such as whitetails, to flourish. Yet lowlands still provide shelter for silent beasts of prey, such as red foxes.
I love that the description says scarcity of predators, and then the entire area is just full of wolves. Hey there, would you like to hunt on my lands? I'm sorry you can't reach me now, but I'm traveling constantly to trying to spot new bird species. I used to hunt, but it's not the same here in the United States. I am more passionate about bird watching these days. I moved here years ago. Oh, thank you for the follow, doppelganger. I moved here years ago from Slovakia for the love of my life, Linda. As you know, love can move mountains. But since I've moved here, I long dearly for Slovak mountains, and even more for Slovak hunters. There's nothing wrong with the American way of hunting. It feels more modern, but you know, different region, different manners. I used to ask myself, where's the dog buried? I've been trying to educate hunters from this region more about one specific tradition. It's just deeply ingrained in me and maybe weird for them. Thank God Linda loves traditions. As we say in Slovak, crow sits with another crow. But you should not put out the fires that don't burn you. My wife said I should not make a donkey out of a mosquito and just let it be. But I can't. I've planted a tree which flew together with me from Slovakia nearby. Could you please break off numerous small branches? I will explain to you what to do with them afterward. P.S. My wife tells me that I use too many Slovak expressions which make no sense in English, but I don't want to give them up. If you feel too confused, grab a book of my favorite sayings with explanations. Ludovic Vlkov. Now, the devs are from Slovakia, so that is why we have a Slovak cabin owner here. If we go to the book of Slovak sayings, habit is a shirt made of iron, habit is hard to overcome, love moves mountains, love is strong, where's the dog buried, where's the problem, crow sits to another crow, humans of specific nature look for a like person, don't put out fires that don't burn you, don't mingle yourself in other people's business, making a donkey out of a mosquito, so that would be making an anthill out of a mole or something like that, whatever the English one is, to exaggerate. Clear as a slab, clear as day, very clear. It's being haunted in your tower. Someone is not of a right mind. That's a bit of like your screws are loose. Mills of God grind slowly but surely. Everyone will eventually be punished for their sins. Don't look the gifted horse at its teeth. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Appreciate the gifts that you've got. Like throwing peas at walls, doing something which has little or no effect. It's like throwing pearls before swine, I think, is the expression in English. Don't cry at spilled milk. Don't mourn over the things that already happened. Stone falling off someone's heart, getting rid of a burden. Saying hop before jumping a fence, not to rush to a conclusion. Some of these are actually fairly close to how we use them in German as well. So, anyway, we are going to do this one right away. Because like I said, this one is very easy to do. It literally just requires you to run over there, get a few tree branches, and then we have another one that requires us to put the tree branches in a specific place, and then we get to the actual hunting mission. So most of these cabin missions will have 1 or 2 missions that are not actually related to hunting or only tangentially related to hunting, and then 1 or 2 missions that are actually hunting, you know. I could feel that coming. Sorry about that. Gotta remember to watch where I'm going here. So yeah, we're just gonna get that out of the way as soon as possible, because otherwise we're just not gonna be able to advance these missions. At least not while we're hunting elsewhere. Alright. Snap, snap, snap. Go back to the cabin. Oh, no, I wanted to interact with this. You have the branches? Good. Now let me explain the tradition I miss the most. It's about honoring the harvested animal. I think it's as clear as a slap in the face, but some American hunters look at me as if my tower is haunted. It's called last tribute. It's very important in Slovak hunting culture. After the animal dies, the hunter spends several minutes next to it reminiscing about the hunt. The tribute is paid in the form of a last bite. It's called hunting branch, or in Slovak, solomok. You put the game on its right side and put the branch in its mouth. Another branch is put into the wound of the animal. If the game is male, the branch is pointing with the broken end towards its head, and if the game is female, it's the opposite. There are many more traditions, but I don't want to confuse you. The reason why I am explaining this to you is because recently I've come across a horrible atrocity. Someone is using illegal trapping methods which terribly hurts the animals. Apart from reporting it to local authorities, I've also started giving them the last tribute. It's the least I can do to honor the fallen animal. Can you please check the area I've marked on the map? Give the animals the last tribute they deserve, because I have a bad feeling it's not going to stop. I believe the person who is doing this will get their punishment, because the mills of God grind slowly but surely. And yes, he will, because we will find out who this actually is.